Hi, it's Guillermo again. So this is about week 6 of the GUI refactoring or like GUI reworking here. Um, yeah, it's probably not, I don't know if it's rather exciting or not. Let me just go through what I have written down. Yeah, so with the R shoulder button, you can open that screen that I showed you last week. I added a few new icons and screens. Um, If you hold it or if you release it, it will disappear. It will always appear on the other screen that's not focused. With the L shoulder button, you can change the focus between upper and lower screens. And what's new is that you can also, instead of holding the L shoulder button, you can tap in the upper right corner here. It's weird, like those. I don't want these the tooltips are a little bit broken, so I disable them for now. So you can also tap the upper right corner, and then if you release the mouse button outside of this area, it will disappear. But if you drag the mouse cursor and release it inside, then it will become sticky. So you can click on stuff, and you can close it by clicking outside again. And yeah, I found this works pretty well. So most of the time I will tap the corner and then use the D-pad to select the screens. All right, so I added a keyboard. It's a bit tricky. You need to be in this screen selection dialog, and then I forgot actually you need to press one of the buttons. Yeah, I think it's the A or B button. So yeah, this is sort of my idea of the keyboard. So this would replace the Nintendo one. I like it because I find it intuitive, but when I showed it to my wife, she didn't think it was. So it works like you would expect. So you can just tap on button on the keys and type away. But the idea is that you can also you don't have to tap. You can just hover over and use the D button to like enter characters. So like left erases the last character and right enters the current character, and then up and down have other functions. So let me type something like no, YouTube. Hooray! Yeah, so, and you can clear what you typed as well and press OK or cancel. All right, so that's then the preference view, what you see here. You can kind of change some colors here. It's not meant to be pretty or like, it's not a great color picker. It's just a proof of concept. So just to kind of illustrate that, that you can change the colors of the UI, and which you couldn't in the previous UI, where like I had only like 16 colors, and here we have, let's say, 128 color slots in theory available, and I could like assign themable slots to widgets. So I think this background, for example, is specific to the fold widget. Anyway, let's kind of undo that. Yeah, and then there's like different modes. Like you can disable the lazy draw feature, so that will force every frame to be drawn. And here in the upper area, I added this performance monitor widget. Yeah, it's like this icon here. So this is now running in an emulator, so the readings are not exactly realistic, but generally you will see that when you when it's idling and lazy drawing is on, then usually it will use 15 milliseconds for a draw call, and when the widget is busy, it will sort of go up to 30, 40 or more. Actually, I found that, let me see, I was a bit sloppy. For example, this one uses like 50 milliseconds, and actually there was one that was taking like 160 milliseconds, which got me quite alarmed. So I spent some time to investigate. I think it was this guy here, which is just drawing some like clip representations. It was really slow, and I learned like how to make it faster. And it's a bit unfortunate because it was slower because I made like every line its own widget, and there was like some overhead, and I learned that it's easier to draw like everything in one function, or like, yeah, to streamline it a little bit. Sorry, I guess I'm speaking too much. Okay, next there's, I mean, this is nothing too spectacular, and on the emulator I don't have a joypad connected, but yeah, you can like move the dot with the circle pad. Yep. Oh yeah, and the other thing is that you can also use wait a second. Oh yeah, I need to focus on the upper screen, and then I can use the up and down buttons on the D-pad, or yeah, the circle pad to change values on knobs or to scroll up and down. Okay, yeah, I limited the frames per second to 30 instead of 60 to reduce CPU load in general. I was thinking maybe I could add an option, a 60 frames per second option later for the new 3DS or so, but for me personally, I don't need 60. Okay, Ableton Link license, that's an interesting one. I should mention that I hang out a lot in the Nitro Tracker Discord, and yeah, see what they are up to and talk to them. And then we were talking about the fact that there's two other, like Nitro Tracker, Noise Commander, and DS Nomia are three apps for the 3DS. I mean, Nitro Tracker is the 3DS port is being worked on. So I was saying, maybe we need something like Ableton Link to like synchronize the like the MIDI clock or something. And so then that made me think of the fact that I was considering to support Ableton Link in the past, but I was worried that the licensing, that you need some sort of license. It's GPL, and my app is proprietary. It's not open source. But in the end, I just thought, okay, maybe I'll send them an email and ask if I can get a proprietary license. And a couple of days later, they responded pretty quickly, and I filled out a form, and now I have a license to use Ableton Link. I'm not going to do it anytime too soon because it looks a little bit complicated, but it would be great to have that available for the 3DS so that all of our apps could, use it and interconnect or like link their clocks. That would be really awesome. Yeah, so success, I got the license. And I made like a little short compression test. Aster, my power user, I would say, he was asking if I had considered making sort of a audio editor app on the side or something. He was basically asking or envisioning loading like an MP3 file and extracting audio samples from it. So yeah, I found this mini MP3 library that is, I think, how do you say? It's a license that I can use even proprietarily, and it works. The only problem will be that any like MP3, I think usually a 5-minute song doesn't fit into the 3DS memory. So I think in the end I would need to make it only display one sort of a chunk at a time. But if we have like 1 minute at a time, that would be still useful, I guess. Or maybe it needs to be streamed directly from the file. Whatever, it's something I would need to figure out. Okay, so I think that was the fun and juicy part. Did I miss? I feel like I might have missed something. Not sure, but I guess that's it. Yeah, I mean, look, I made like some funny meme icons here for like some widgets or views that don't exist yet. I think other than that, there's really nothing new. Okay, so yeah, I spent several days figuring out how to stream video data to a file. Yeah, I find it really important, or I really would like to have the ability to stream the video data in sort of really, over network to either a app on the PC so that I can record it as video, or I would like to be able to record it on the console so that I can record, produce a video or like turn it into a video later. So yeah, I was at first transmitting the VBO data and was like trying tricks to make it use less space. So yeah, the pro is that it's agnostic of widget internals, so I don't need to write code per widget. But the con then was the high bandwidth, too much data, and I concluded it's not going to work, so I ditched it. And the new approach is to write individual serialization functions per widget, so that takes much more effort but achieves a much sparser data. And I made it work over local network from the 3DS to a new dedicated SDL app that might replace the companion app that I had in the past. But I got a bit frustrated, and it was network programming is really annoying, so I wanted to work on something more juicy, and then I think I worked on the keyboard widget and other stuff. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so that was the week 6. I think next week I might try to port the audio part of Noise Commander to PC or SDL, just to the extent that I know it's possible, and just to have that covered. And then I think I will straight jump back to writing more common widgets, so that I can get to the phase where I would actually convert the widgets from Noise Commander and integrate the new UI system back into the app. Okay, I think that's it. I had some thoughts about like, why am I doing this, and why don't I have more YouTube viewers or like fame and success? But yeah, I think I'm always gonna be, first priority is just me having fun and making the app for myself, but I would be lying if I wouldn't be sort of seeking attention or confirmation, or but I know like these kind of dev report videos are not very popular, and I'm not putting a lot of effort. I'm not even editing this one. I don't know what I was gonna say. I forgot one important thing. You can install the current prototype on your 3DS and test it yourself if you are a Patreon. So please join my Patreon, spend a little bit of money if you can, and maybe support me, maybe not. I think the next couple of weeks will still be somewhat unspectacular, but I think there will be a point where it's going to get more exciting again when we have, I guess, when the integration is finished and I will be working on audio stuff again. Like, I'm really looking forward to adding synthesis and more advanced like audio editing, like waveform editing, like working with slices and stuff, and adding more effects and making sort of like a dynamic chains of effects, so you can like change the order and add or remove effects instead of having a sort of a fixed set of effects. All right, thank you. That's all for this week. See you in week 7. Bye bye. Gimo out.